What's up, guys? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes, not for the Carolina Panthers. I'm just wearing this jersey today because I want to spend a day indoors and this is nice and baggy. That's pretty much it. Yes, it is his jersey. Not a game-worn jersey. It's from the NFL shop where it's like super baggy and everything. But it is large enough I can actually put my shoulder pads on. I mean, look at this. I can put shoulder pads underneath this if I really want to go for a Halloween costume. But anyways, yes, like I said, my name's Theo. I play middle linebacker, Hilversum Hurricanes. I live in Amsterdam. That's where I'm at right now. My team is in Hilversum. That's a neighboring city, still in the same province, but outside of Amsterdam. Those are both in Europe, and I live in Europe. I am an American. Many of my teammates do also speak English, just not really to the level that I do. Like, they can have like no accent, but then they'll just like look at me and go, "What's the word for," I'm like, "washing machine?" Ah, yeah. You literally said the Dutch word "wasmachine." It's weird. It's fun, but it's weird. So today is going to be kind of a sit down at home day. Everything's good. Everything's great. The camera's sitting on top of the computer, so my replica helmet is currently down on the desk. Okay, so since today's just basically a sit around, we're on summer break right now with my team, so we only have Thursday practices. Mondays and Fridays are my football videos. I do vlog every single day of the week. As like last night for me, I did a live stream. That was after I got my second shot. That's why I'm staying home today. I'm kind of spacey outy. That second shot hits differently. That's the title of yesterday's vlog. And so, yes, we're not doing our Sunday. So Monday videos like this one are just me explaining stuff. And since the Olympics are on currently, the topic of today's video later is going to be, why isn't American football in the Olympics? I talked about this on my live stream ad nauseum. I was losing my brain. I wasn't forming a lot of thoughts. I think I talked for about half an hour. This video is not half an hour long. I'm just gonna go over some main points. But first, as was suggested, Q&A. Folks want to see a Q&A. It's entirely possible that in this video, you guys can comment down below questions you want to know about me. If you ask who my favorite player is and which NFL team I support after watching this video, I have no idea. I cannot answer that question for you because you need to have eyeballs. Anyways, and I've said my name, but there's many other questions that you could ask about various things, including how is it like living in Amsterdam? What are some foods or something? I mean, someone comes into the live stream and just asks me random questions. And I'm like, are you building a personality based on me? I mean, they are pretty interesting questions. What's your favorite food? Tacos. So, yes. So that's gonna be that. Questions below. If I get a good chunk, we'll do a Q&A video, but you gotta get the questions down there, and I'll answer them in the next Sunday video. I don't think we're having training next Sunday, but I can always answer the questions after practice or record twice or something like that. The only restrictions I will say is I will not give out my address, and I will not give out any personal identifying information pertinent to the United States, such as my phone number or any vital information you could use to hack my identity. That is a given, but some people don't realize that one. But yeah, so let's move on to a second announcement. Okay, second announcement. Finally, got something done. I had a shirt from a previous company called Capsule. They were French. They had a good idea for a bit of merch, and they had stuff for various American football positions, but their website doesn't exist anymore. They still have their Instagram. So yes, they still have their Instagram. It's posted stuff like, you know, linebacker, ankle breaker. They do also for basketball too, cornerback. They have various positions, but I don't know how to order their stuff anymore. So I really wanted to get an option for a replacement for that. It's not nearly as professional looking, but I made my own. So I ordered a sample from my merch store. Actually, that middle line is actually kind of a quote from me, and I know that our fullback Diego wholly agrees with this one, so I have to give him a little bit of credit for that one. And then leader of the pack is just the general ideas, the one in the middle that yells out all the calls, and then at the bottom, if you're turning down nachos as a middle line as a linebacker, what are you doing? At least after a game, people are like, "I'm going to have a little salad. I'm going to have this." You're going to be with them. You're going to be with the lineman. You're going to be eating nachos. You're going to the nacho buffet. That's pretty much that. So those are downstairs. You can find those. I have a hoodie. It's still technically on the way. I have it on a shirt, and it's in all the colors that Teespring allows for, and that'll show up on any color. So you can get your home team colors, all that jazz. So you can find those things down in the description. Very first link says merch store, Teespring, Dashric store, yada yada. You can just click that link. It'll take you there. I tried to price point it as low as possible, but Teespring's like, no, you got to price it. I'm like, fine. It's as low as it'll go, if that makes any sense. So I can't really lower the price much more. I can maybe do a giveaway later, but that would be funky because I would need to have someone at someone's address or whatnot. Anyways, yes, that same comes on a t-shirt, a tank top because it's still summer, hoodie because winter will be coming, boom, 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 and then it comes on iPhone and Samsung cases, and you can select any color because I know how important it is for a football player to have their home team. So this is like every color. Like the Samsung one says it's royal blue, and that's just what it is because that's what my team is. Royal blue and yellow, but this allows for black, purple, green, brown, all the various colors that come on Teespring. So that's pretty much that. But like I said, I got royal blue. This is a large. Let's put it on and I'll show you about that sizing because I don't know how their sizing stuff works very well. All right, so again, this is how the shirt fits. You know, I wear an adult medium in my shoulder pads. Depending on the jersey make, I'm not going to go over that one, but my Zenith shoulder pads are adult medium. As you can see, it's nice and tapered in. Like I said, it's a large. I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of like 220 pounds. So yeah, that's that. Okay, now if this seems to be a super popular thing, I will definitely come up with some sort of functionality for other positions. You know, defensive line, offensive line, receiver, quarterback, running back, sort of thing. It's going to take a bit. I'm not of the creative type in that department, and Aaron did the graphics. I mean, I came up with the text, but he needed to make it translucent in the background. I just don't do that, so. Next bit of news is there's an actual post from what's called Gridiron.nl, and they basically cover gridiron American football for the Netherlands. It's in Dutch, but you know, your browser will change it. Will translate for you. Anyways, there's a small little thing, and I know people in my live stream were asking. It says with 1 week to go until the deadline, so it says August 1st, only 5 teams have registered for one of the AFBN competitions that are due to start at the end of September. Hoping my team is a part of that. The race management is not too worried yet. Teams have until August 1st. This article was posted like yesterday or today. So that's what this says. With registrations coming in before August 1st, the AFBN is considering a competition schedule. Earlier, the association already announced that its competition should start at the end of September. It would mean that American football will be played once again in the Netherlands for the first time since the Corona crisis. There's as official information as I can get as of right now. So in August, I might have more information for y'all. That's pretty much that. Okay, so back to the topic I said at the very beginning. American football in the Olympics. I just watched the opening ceremonies. It was very weird. You can go back and previously watch my video for that one. They were speaking a lot of Japanese, except for the IOC president, who was speaking in English, but the commentators that were explaining what was going on about the Parade of Nations was in Dutch, but if there was Japanese spoken, then they came on with Dutch subtitles. And that was just super surreal, and like the only time we really understood what was going on. I mean, we do speak Dutch, my husband and I, so we're not like, oh, really fluent in it, but I can definitely, you know, plus there's a lot of very similar words. We are not completely bilingual yet, but I am weirdly close. I got a lot of questions on my live stream, and I've asked it over the years, and I finally did a fair number of, you know, researching. So a lot of y'all that are watching this video really like American football, and you're wondering, why is this amazing sport not played in the Olympics? Well, do you know how many teams? Do you know another country that plays American football? Canada. Yes. Can you name another one? If you were on the live stream, you probably noticed, you can probably name, if you remember, can name Mexico, Japan, pretty much any country in Europe. One of our receivers is from the Czech Republic, and he actually played on the team over there for a little while, but then came here for work and plays on Hilversum. So the general idea with why it's not in the Olympics is because there isn't enough teams or enough countries in the world that play it at a similar level. And that's pretty much it. If you have, because I looked at the rugby schedule for both men and women. So the rugby competition has 12 teams. So if we're going to adopt that similar pattern, we would need to have 12 different countries, even if we just had a men's. I'm not sure about the horrible equality one, but that even gets more awkward because if you have to have a women's also for American football, then it gets even harder because not many countries actually have a women's team to begin with. The Netherlands does, England does, and the United States does. But Canada's weird. And Australia does. Many of the women's actually just play alongside the men because it's not that big a deal, unlike in the United States. If you can have a whole team, it's great to have women on the team, but sometimes there's not many and they just intersperse in because it's a sport. But anyways, so yes, there isn't enough countries that play it at a Olympic level is what I think it would be called. There's various other things, like I watched a TikTok this morning that said why baseball isn't in it. It's because, well, baseball's in it this year, baseball and softball, because they are amazingly popular in Japan. So the host country gets to pick a sport to put in, but not enough countries played at a high enough level to keep it in the Olympics. The last time it was in was like 2008. But then it's been dwindling. So that's very similar. It's because you have the United States and Canada and Japan, and to an extent Germany and Poland, that are way up there. I mean, the top teams in like Germany, Poland are equivalent to probably D3 in the United States. To be fair, the United States is still crowned king on this thing. And then Canada and maybe Mexico? I'm not sure, and Japan. So you've got like, United States, Canada, do not go into that song, Mexico, Germany, Poland, Italy, Australia, France, Great Britain, Russia. I mean, we're getting in there pretty well. We need 2 more countries, but we're kind of scrambling. I mean, Brazil, but they're not anywhere close. I mean, Brazil has competitive teams, but their top league is in the lower brackets of Europe. So there are many European teams that are up there, and like you could add in Austria, and it gets funky after that one because you'd be dealing with, so there's none, but then again, like I said, Austria and Germany, and you'd have to have people that are not already professional in another area, so like no NFL players. I'm not sure if college players could do it, so you'd have to have American football players coming out of high school and immediately going on to Team USA for Olympic level American football. Same thing with Team Canada. They couldn't go to college, they couldn't go to the NFL because they'd be moving on to that level of professional. It's still amazing. It would still be great, to go stand on the podium as gold medal Team USA American football. But you can see it. Also, there's the issue of like the roster. With basketball, you're working like, 10 people. Yeah, you have your staff, but when you have soccer, that's a little bit of my Dutch teammates coming out. And I'm like, football. Oh, no, it's soccer. That's what they say. Soccer. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much that one. Even with soccer, there's not many teams involved in that one, and rugby is like rugby sevens. The 2020 U.S. Olympic men's rugby sevens team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they have 15 people on their roster, and one's an alternate, and 2 of them are traveling reserve. Letting you know on that one. So having some fun with that one. So you could easily remedy that one with like a smaller football team. You don't have to go 11-man. You could even go 7. I know that back in Oregon there was a 9-man league, but there's even like, in order to keep things small, you could go with arena, because arena football has drastically less people on the field. I think. Yeah, see, arena, rather than a 53-man roster in the NFL, arena uses a much smaller 20-man roster. So you could do that one, plus you don't need a huge field for it. You could, do a smaller area. And like I said, you'd only have 20-man, and you'd have less people on the field, and with less people, it's weird, but that's the thing. to get it going is not. You could probably do flag as an Olympic thing, but then it gets really weird because, yeah. It says all participants play offense and defense except the kicker, the quarterback, and 1 kick returner and 2 defensive specialists. That's pretty much the rules I'm reading here on arena football. So you could probably adapt arena football rules to Team USA for the Olympics. But that's going to be like a decade out because you have to be able to get at least 12 teams to be relative competitive. So like I said, we had 10, but after that it's sort of like you have 12 teams, they're all going to the Olympics. You don't have any pre-competitions for it because what are you going to do? Get 20 people from the Ivory Coast in Africa and have them go against Belarus in American football to see who's going to qualify to go to the Olympics? So that's pretty much why it's not in there, is because it's not a worldwide enough sport. And I understand in the United States that it is literally everywhere and that feels like a worldwide sport. And to be fair, when you watch my videos, I'm like, I live in the Netherlands. I have been to France. I have played a football game against French, against Germans, against Romanians, against Belgians. I've watched a German GFL 2 game. It's entirely possible that I could play other teams in future competitions from other countries, but they're not necessarily of the competition level that would even come out of the highest levels of high school football in the United States. So there's where we're having kind of a problem. Like, do you take the best players from the United States or do you take the mediocre players because everyone else is relatively mediocre? So that's pretty much that. If you have any questions about that or you want to debate it down in the comments, please go ahead. I will chat with you guys for another football video on Friday. I'm going to practice. Hopefully I'll be over this corona fog by then. And yes, again, Q&A down below. That will be probably next Monday's video. And then Friday will be a practice video, depending on, the weather is not even close to looking right now because it's still many days out. Thursday, July 29th. 70% chance of rain. Whatever. I will check you guys later. We will see what's going on with practice. Bye.